There's lots of variations of how to do a pull-up, but we're going to focus on the similarities between these common variations. Most people will find shoulder width grip most comfortable because it's where the majority of other exercises that we perform in a gym are predominantly done. We do our pushing based exercises, we do a lot of rowing based exercises, lat pull downs, low rows, bent over rows, dumbbell press, etc. They're performed within this sort of territory. So this is probably going to be most comfortable for people to start with. However, we can perform them wider. Personal opinion, I find it more comfortable to have my thumbs over the bar rather than under the bar when I'm doing wide grip. Just allows my hands to sit a little bit more comfortably, but the objective is the same. You're trying to pull yourself up towards the bar. If you want a little bit more of a back dominant pull-up or a lat dominant pull-up, doing it with a wide grip is going to be a better way of doing that. And then you can perform them with a narrow grip, and the objective is again the same. Some people will find this more comfortable. If you have strong forearms and biceps, this will be an easier version for you probably. Besides the obvious difference of grip width, there's some other things to consider as well. If we look at the movements from the front, there's two main grips that we can use as well. If we hold the bar like this, it's a little bit more difficult, but by flexing your wrist effectively and having your hand over the top of the bar to grip, it means the forearms have to work a little bit harder. However, from a longevity perspective, I find that this translates better to grip-based strength. As a result, you potentially get a little bit of a stronger pulling position. If you hold the bar so you're holding on with your fingertips rather than holding on with your full hand, you are still training your grip, you're still doing a pull-up, you're still training all the same muscles. It's taking a tiny bit of pressure away from your forearm. And so once you've established which grip width you want, and once you've established which way you want to hold the bar, there's some commonalities amongst all of these different variations. Typically, it's best and strongest to try and initiate the movement from your shoulder blades and your back musculature. If you initiate with the elbows and the biceps, it can be difficult to get your chest all the way up to the bar or your neck all the way up to the bar, because it can be more difficult to pull your shoulder blades behind you when you're already at the top. If you initiate by retracting and depressing your shoulder blades, and then once you're in this kind of chest proud position, then pull with your elbows, it can be a little bit easier to finish off that second part of the movement using your biceps rather than starting the movement with your biceps. There's a few different positions you can put your body into as well. This tends to happen a bit more naturally when you have close grip pull-ups and you have the forearm dominant grip. So if you punch your wrists over the top and you have a close grip, there isn't as much space for your body to fit between your arms and your shoulders, and so as a result, your feet naturally kind of fall in front of you a little bit because your shoulders and your whole body comes backwards a little bit more. So if you look here in comparison, my head is further away from the bar than when I'm halfway up on the wide grip version. My head never really goes very far away from the bar in a vertical line perspective, but when I do the close grip version, because I can't go straight up and straight down, my feet naturally point out in front of me a little bit as a counterbalance because my head has come further back. So when we do close grip, it can be a nice way to encourage a little bit of a core exercise at the same time. So expanding on that, when we do wide grip, the shoulder blades come back and then we pull with our elbows, and at this point here it just requires a little bit more effort for your shoulders to pull your shoulder blades behind your back, and it can make that final little bit of the movement more difficult. However, if you want a little bit more of a back dominant pull-up or a lat dominant pull-up, doing it with a wide grip is going to be a better way of doing that, because if you look at the range of motion that the elbow goes through, this is about 90 degrees, maybe just further than 90 degrees. But if we do a front view of the close grip, you'll see that it effectively closes the gap a lot more than on the wide grip version.